So Wild Turkey 101 has been a staple on probably all of our bars for a very, very long time. That's the whiskey that I cut my teeth on way, way back in the day in my late teens and early 20s. My early 20s, because drinking in my late teens would have been illegal, and there's a new 101 on the market, the Redwood Empire Pipe Dream 101. Let's see how these two compare. I'm Tuck, and this is Bourbon Broke. So anyone that has watched my channel for any length of time knows that I am a huge, huge Redwood Empire fan. Everything from their core lineup, the Pipe Dream, Emerald Giant, Lost Monarch, up to the cask strengths and everywhere in between. Now this bottle right here, this is a 4-grain. It's 73% corn, 19% rye, 5% malted barley, and 3% wheat. Obviously comes in at 101 proof. As far as an age statement, it's 5 to 15 years. I know it's a blend. Part of it was sourced. I believe it was MGP, but do not quote me on that. And the other part of the blend is their own distillate. Now the SRP on this is $49.99, so it's double what the Wild Turkey price is. You can normally get those around 25 bucks, give or take a few bucks. And as far as a secondary, I don't think you're going to see a secondary out there. I've seen these in quite a few places out there, and it's, right in that $49 range. I've seen it a couple bucks less, a couple bucks more, but right around that $50 range. So anyway, let's get into this one and see how it is. As I had mentioned in the intro, the Wild Turkey 101 has been a staple of mine, like I'm sure a lot of yours, for many, many, many years. So I'm really looking forward to seeing how it compares to this Redwood Empire Pipe Dream 101. Let's get it. Let's see how this nose is. Well, that's a nice soft nose. That's nice. Getting that caramel in there, just a slight hint of a baking spice. Like a pear or an apple, like a green apple. A touch of honey. And I think I'm getting better differentiating between the butterscotch and honey in whiskeys. So I think I'm getting it. I have to taste some more and figure this shit out. But that's a nice nose. For a 101, you're starting to creep up there into a little bit of a higher proof. And that's a very soft nose. Let's see how the palate is. Get on there. Definitely getting some oak right off the bat on the palate. And there's for a 101, it's not a real high proof, but there's a nice viscosity on that. That caramel is definitely coming through. The baking spice, there's a nice little spice on here that I'm really liking. I'm still getting that green apple. Man, caramel covered green apple, baking spice. Man, this is a fall drink right here. That's nice. I'm getting a little bit of like a cookie or like a pie crust. So man, we're talking some baked apple pie right here. Wow. You got everything. You have your green apple, your caramel, your pastry, your baking spice. Are you freaking kidding me? You're freaking kidding me. This is good. This is really good. It doesn't have a really, really long finish on it, but it's 101. That's not a real high proof, so I wasn't really expecting a long finish. Definitely more of the baking spice and oak on the back end on that finish. This is really good. It's kind of weird. It has a nice bite, a spice to it, but it's soft as well. Oh, wow. Just going to have to try it to see what I'm talking about. Wow, this is really good. As I say, I like a lot of the Redwood Empire stuff. Well, pretty much everything. I don't know if they put out a bottle that I don't like. Cool Distillery, not sure if you know, but for every bottle they sell, they plant a tree. And right now, last I looked, I believe they were up to 1.74 million trees that they planted. So that's pretty cool. Price point on this is not bad at all. $49.99, $50. This is well worth the $50. As far as a rating on this, I'll give it a quick rating before we get into the comparison with the Wild Turkey 101. Considering the price and what this is, I would probably go, I'm liking this. I'm going to say an 8.0 on this one. 8.0. Boy, and that baking spice, starting to get just a touch of cinnamon there too. I like this a lot. But give me 1 second. Let me go grab some Wild Turkey 101 and let's compare these two. All right, well, I'm back with some Wild Turkey 101 to see how it compares side by side to the Redwood Empire Pipe Dream 101. Been a little bit since I've had some Wild Turkey 101. I lied. It's been a little bit. A couple weeks ago, I was actually on Southwest Airlines and they have Wild Turkey 101 on there, and I generally have a few on there when I'm flying. On the nose, the Wild Turkey 101 has a little bit more of a bite, seems like, on that palate. This is a classic bourbon. Your caramel, vanilla, oak. There's just a slight, hint of like an ethanol in the Wild Turkey 101. More heavy on the oak than it is on the Redwood Empire. I do love me some oak. You get that vanilla, a baking spice, like an allspice. For $25, you really can't beat the Wild Turkey 101. And as far as a mixer, it's one of the best mixers you can have on your bar to make old fashions with, whiskey sours, Manhattans, whatever. It's a great mixer. As far as drinking it neat, I think I would have to go with the Pipe Dream. But you have to take in consideration this is double the price of this right here. So yeah, as far as a sipper, definitely this one right here. So, is this bottle right here, the Pipe Dream 101, is it better than the Wild Turkey 101? I'm going to say no and yes. The reason I say it, for the price point and what you're getting, the Wild Turkey 101, you just can't beat it. I mean, it's just a great value for what you're getting. $25 for 101 proof, a nice whiskey, but I think it's more suited to a mixer than necessarily drinking it neat a lot. Whereas I think the Pipe Dream is definitely better drinking neat, which is what I do 99% of the time. To be honest with you, I rarely have a mixed drink, these days. Now, is this worth double what this is? Man. I think it's just going to be kind of a toss-up as far as, personal preference. If you drink it neat, like I do, is this worth double? I think it is. I think, to me, it's worth double. I will always have one of these on my shelf because I think it's very good. Will I always have this one on my shelf? Absolutely I will, because it's just a great mixer. And from time to time, I may, drink it neat. But like I said, just for myself, personally, I drink neat most all the time. So I would go with that one. And I would probably pay double because I like drinking neat more. But Both fantastic bottles. Can't go wrong with either one. I'm sure you probably already have this one, but if you do see this one out there, go ahead and grab it. I think it's fantastic. Well, that's it for this episode. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did drinking it. If so, please hit that like and subscribe button and that notification bell. It doesn't cost you a dime, and it really, really does help me out, and I truly do appreciate it. If you'd like to check out some Bourbon Broke stuff, just go to bourbonbroke.com. Check out everything on there. That's it for tonight, and remember, keep your friends close and your bourbon closer. Cheers. Cheers.